wearing the same things that we wore 2 weeks ago.
Wow, it's a weird coincidence.
7th, 14th. Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
It's cold in here.
A little chilly in
so
here.
We need to get moving.
But it was like nice and cozy.
It was.
Which is perfect.
It was.
For
yeah.
a movie club.
Movie club. Movie club.
Get ready for the 2003 movie club.
Oh my God, guys.
On S. Soup.
You're not even ready for it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SM Soup, the #1 podcast with soup in the name but not on the brain. I am Spencer.
And I'm Shelby.
And together we're here to take you on a journey through life's biggest questions, like, waiter, is it even worth it to do a movie club when one of the movies nominated for Best Picture, and it was the winner of that year, is a Lord of the Rings movie? Is it even worth it to even go through this exercise? No is the answer, but are we going to anyway?
Yeah.
Yes, because
we have to.
We have to.
Legally obligated.
Legally, we're contractually obligated.
Yeah.
In case you don't know what a movie club is.
Just in case.
Mm-hmm. What Shelby and I are aiming to do is we are in an effort to try and expand our movie library of movies that we've watched.
Mm-hmm.
We are taking. What's up?
Go ahead. Yep.
We every 2 months randomly pick a year between 1975 and now 2023, and we watch the Oscar-nominated pictures for Best Picture. Now, we understand that does not necessarily mean, as we are well aware from the years that we have watched, it doesn't always mean that truly the best pictures of the year were nominated for Best Picture.
Right.
And obviously personal taste comes into it. But as a blanket assumption, we should see...
a good starting point.
We should see, hopefully, one of the top 5 movies from that year.
Yeah.
At the very least, right? Of the 5 that get nominated.
Sure.
This most recent...
movie
club year that we did was 2003, and the nominees were Seabiscuit, Mystic River, Lost in Translation.
I was about to be like, wow, you're really in your...
Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World, right?
Yep, good job.
And Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
Yes.
Pretty solid year.
Actually, yeah.
Pretty decent. Pretty close, I would say, with all the movies.
Sure, 1 through 4 are.
Well, 2 through 5 are.
Oh, I'm so in... Well, 3 and 4 are. And then there's miles between...
I feel like there's a mile between 1.
Oh, I can't wait for us to find out whose one is whose.
Both of our ones are definitely the same.
Do you think? I hope so. Let's find out. Okay, let's start talking about it.
So what we do is we go through every movie, and we, quickly go through the synopsis and we talk about what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it, and then at the end we'll rank them. We'll talk about some of the other awards from the show and who won and if we agree or not, based on if we got to watch the movie.
Right.
And then we'll pick another year, which I already did, and I'm already excited.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great in comparison to the past few years we've had.
First movie that we watched, Shelby.
Yes. Was Seabiscuit. I'm just taking the little quick Google overview of it.
Mm-hmm.
In the midst of the Great Depression, a businessman coping with the tragic death of his son, a jockey with a history of brutal injuries, and a down-and-out horse trainer team up to help Seabiscuit, a temperamental, undersized racehorse. At first, the horse struggles to win, but eventually Seabiscuit becomes one of the most successful thoroughbreds of all time and inspires a nation at a time when it needs it most. What a great start, Yeah. What a heartwarming... fun story, very uplifting story.
Yeah, it's kind of like an underdog type feel.
You can't hate this movie.
Yeah, it's it makes you feel good. There are a lot of moments that come at you fast.
Yeah. Oh, for real though.
Like
yeah.
they mentioned the death of the son.
Oh my god! Like anything that tragic, like all these characters have tragic things happen to them. Which I mean, it's the Great Depression. Like everyone has tragic things happening to them. They really are just like like something crazy happens.
No, literally.
That's like,
no, literally.
That's like literally the movie, which is a little jarring. Like at points you're like, wait, that actually just happened.
Yeah, you're kind of like, wow, Jeff Bridges' character kind of just lied his way to the top, as you get to do in the fucking 20s.
Right, when
like,
there were no rules.
That reminds me of like Tender Mercies when we watched that.
Yeah.
And the people were just like, yeah, we're going to be a band.
Yeah.
And then they became a band.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, because you could have that level of confidence in the 70s.
We just ride around in our car.
And no fucking competition.
Yeah, and we just
Jeff
pop
Bridges
up.
sells bikes at the height of cars becoming a thing. and somebody's like, can you fix my car? And he's like, yeah. And then he fucking takes the car apart and then figures it out because he's got nothing better to do. Like his hoop stick already broke, so he couldn't fuck with that.
He couldn't figure out how to fix the hoop stick.
Works his way to the top. He's now a multi-billionaire or some shit as an estate.
He's a multi-thousandaire.
Yeah. And then he's just like, oh, some convention or whatever.
Yeah.
Got to go to the city.
Yeah.
Oh no, my son died.
No, literally. Like, literally. And like, there's another point, which I won't say it because it's kind of like a big pivotal moment of the movie, but there's just like 3 points over the movie. You're like, wait. Everything was fine. Like, literally everything was fine a second ago. And something horrific just happened. Yeah, it's just very quick mood shifts throughout the movie.
Very quick.
But
like,
overall,
it just kind of comes at you fast.
It really does. Overall, like, you can't hate this movie.
No, I mean, overall, it's definitely a solid.
It's a solid movie.
It's a solid film.
Again, endearing.
Yep.
Everyone's kind of a mess in their own way, all trying to work together. We literally were laughing at the minute we started the movie. You said, how are they going to handle Tobey Maguire being like not small?
Yeah, he's not short.
And within the first like second of the movie, they were like, you're a little big for a jockey, aren't you?
A little big to be a jockey.
Also, Tobey Maguire has bright red hair, and that had me kind of laughing most of the movie.
Funny.
It looks pretty ridiculous. But
like, I kind of feel like, and bear with me here
Sure.
on this comparison.
Okay.
He kind of reminds me like he was his era's like Robert Pattinson. And maybe that's just because Seabiscuit was 03, so that might have been right before or like during the height of his Spider-Man run.
Yeah. And he was a very like but
he's solid, like he's a solid actor. Like I've never seen him in a role outside of like black suit Spider-Man where I'm just like I don't buy this.
Right.
You know, like I feel like he does a pretty good job.
Yeah. I agree.
And I normally come away liking his performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did think that. I was like, how are they going to address this? And
they did immediately.
Immediately.
They were like, hey, just viewers, in case you were worried, we see it.
Yeah.
He's a little big for a jockey.
I mean, I'm guessing that had to have been the story of Seabiscuit.
Yeah, I would say we don't know the story that well, so it probably was.
I gotta be honest. I don't care.
Sure. That's fair.
I don't care. I don't care about horse racing.
No.
But boy, oh boy, did this movie make me care.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Outside of the random trauma dumps, like I feel like it's I feel like it's a family favorite. Like it would be.
Maybe, yeah.
Like middle-aged family favorite.
Yeah. I mean, I love baseball.
Yeah,
but I imagine the way I interacted with Seabiscuit is how anybody could watch Moneyball and be like, yeah, I really cared.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
But then it's like, okay, do you want to go watch a baseball game? No. And they're just like, fuck you.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know?
That's fair. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's how I felt watching Seabiscuit.
Sure.
It's like, wow, this is something that I do not care about. I have no horse in this race.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah, solid movie. Jeff Bridges' character, Jeff Bridges, like his role, kind of underwhelming.
He's the main guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
I didn't really like.
It literally did come down to.
He's the pull of the movie for sure. Like,
but
there's
it really
nobody
did
else
come
in
down
it.
to Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire gave a good performance. I did not think Jeff Bridges was like that good in it.
I mean, he was just supposed to kind of be this like carefree. Yeah.
Yeah, but he plays a better carefree character in The Big Lebowski.
That's very true.
Okay.
You're right. No, that's a good point.
Enough about
That's a good point.
But there's
That's a good
there's
point.
no other good pull for that movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say like of everyone, like Tobey Maguire is like you're like wow, Tobey Maguire like rocked that movie.
Yeah.
Like it was the Tobey Maguire show.
Good show.
Good show. Second movie, Mystic River. When the daughter of ex-con Jimmy Marcus is murdered, two of his childhood friends from the neighborhood are involved. Dave, a blue-collar worker, was the last person to see her alive, while Sean, a homicide detective, is heading up the case. As Sean proceeds with his investigation, Jimmy conducts one of his own through neighborhood contacts. Eventually, Jimmy suspects Dave is the culprit and considers taking the law into his own hands.
This movie is my shit.
Yeah.
I love a movie and like a storyline that flows the way that this one did.
What's another example of a movie that flows the way this one did?
The Last of Us Part 2. No. Wow. I don't know. I can't
That's
like
so fair.
probably like
No, that's so fair.
I don't know. It's one of those movies where it's like, look here,
Mm-hmm.
and you're looking there the entire time, and then the other time the other hand is waving,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like over
Yeah.
here, but you're so fixated on this,
Yes.
like that type of story.
Yeah.
And like they did a really good
And-
job of
It's fun that you don't know who to trust.
100%,
Like you don't trust anyone you're looking at
100%
on the screen. That's always fun.
And they and the way that they present the Dave is the blue collar last to see Tim Robbins' character.
Dave, yes, is the last one to see her alive.
The way that they give you the little nuggets of
Mhm.
him, you know? And so it's just like at first you're like, oh my God, he fucking did it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, I think he's just off. I
Yeah.
don't think he did do it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, he might have done it.
You're like, ah,
And then
shit,
you're
Dave.
like, no, he didn't. But then who fucking did it?
Right.
And you're constantly flip flopping there, and then it all comes together at the end in like a beautiful fucking mess.
Yes, truly.
And just
And it does I mean, you say never mind. When you said The Last of Us Part 2, it's like it is fun when you're getting glimpses of all these timelines and then you kind of see the chaos of them all coinciding
Mhm.
at the same time. That is always a very fun, and it's like everyone's coming to their own conclusion right at the
Mhm.
same time, but they're not
Mhm.
all in the same room, and so they're all
Yep.
reacting differently
Yep.
and doing whatever that obviously is impacting the group as a whole.
Yep.
Yeah, very
Basically,
good.
You have so you have Sean Penn.
Yeah.
Right? You have his character. He's
Yeah.
he's the father of the victim.
He's Jimmy Marcus.
He's the father of the victim. You got Kevin Bacon, who's the police officer, and you have Tim Robbins.
Mhm.
Sorry, you have Kevin Bacon and Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah.
This is a cast to end all casts.
Lawrence Fishburne is really is there. And I'm like, I feel like he's not getting enough attention. Like, what do you mean? And Lawrence Fishburne. It's
Yeah.
like, what?
And then Tim Robbins is Dave, is the
Yeah.
last to see the victim alive.
Yeah.
And so the entire time you have Sean Penn, right,
Mm-hmm.
devastated.
Mm-hmm.
But he has no idea who it is. Then you have
Mhm.
Kevin Bacon, who's
Mhm.
like, or sorry, you have Lawrence Fishburne, who's like,
Mhm.
it's got to be Dave.
It's Dave.
And then Kevin Bacon's like, I know Dave.
it's not Dave.
Then Kevin Bacon goes to Sean Penn and goes, yeah, we think it we're questioning Dave because
He's
there's
a little tangled up in
there's some
it.
inconsistencies,
Yeah.
in these stories and
Yeah.
stuff. And then Sean Penn's like, can't be Dave. And then about 2 minutes later, he goes, it might have fucking been Dave.
He's having the same reaction you're having watching it.
And then you're getting all these bits and pieces of what was going on with Dave and all this other stuff. Again, it's a beautiful mess at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't
It
know
is.
if it's necessarily satisfying, but
It's not.
I think I would agree with that. I think I would say that
It's frustrating, if anything, but I get it.
I would say that this movie is 90% of the way to being a near perfect movie.
Okay. What's it missing?
The ending.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to like spoil too much because this is like a movie that you can
yeah.
really only watch like one time to get like the full effect.
Although jump scare the wife from Ozark.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
And the like main girl from the first 8 or 9 seasons of Shameless is the victim.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, something happens to try and be as vague as possible. Something happens, and the thing that happens is kind of just, all right.
And there's that.
And we kind of move on.
Also, Laura Linney, just because I didn't say her name, and that feels rude.
It's the mom from Ozark.
Is the mom from Ozark? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm like afraid to say anything else because I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, you have to, like,
it does need to be the experience of watching it because like everything we're saying is like you're questioning everyone you're looking at.
And it's Boston.
It's so Boston.
It's so Boston. And it's good. It's just really good. It's a really good movie.
It's enjoyable.
I don't know about fun.
No, sorry, it's not
fun.
I just think anyone who likes
it's like a mystery
thrillers, like very detective-y.
You're trying to piece it together while they're piecing it together.
Yeah, and it has thriller-esque. I wouldn't call it probably is a thriller. I wouldn't call it a thriller, but thriller-esque.
Yeah, suspense.
It says thriller / mystery. Yeah. But yeah, it's a good movie.
And I think again, kind of like
it's also so early 2000s. I mean, you could say about any of these, but something about this one feels so early 2000s.
I think I think everybody gives like a pretty good
I would say so.
Performance. Sean Penn goes a little overboard with the trying to see like his daughter once he like figures out that
when he's literally
like,
having
trying to
a
fight
meltdown
through the cops and he's like
screaming.
Like borderline Schmeagol Gollum screaming.
He is. Yeah.
He's like,
There's something
in that moment. I was like, okay, he's kind of overacting.
I will say there is something really funny. This is me really overthinking it. So they really set Sean Penn. You said is his name.
Mm-hmm.
They really set him up that like he's like what is he like? He's not like he's kind of a big face of the neighborhood, but for questionable reasons. But they don't really address why, and they don't really address like what he does.
He's a criminal.
Well, yeah, but they're not like I don't know. Like you can tell he kind of like runs his own crew, but they're also like
he's just like a hometown, born and bred. Like grew up on that street, still lives on that street.
Yeah,
like
I don't know. There's just something really funny about
everybody
like,
knows the name because you're just like a local
assumed
kid.
Power that he has.
Yeah,
but it like doesn't really. Like it does impact the movie, but it also doesn't. And I don't know. There's just something kind of funny that like I feel like today there would have been a much more drama around who he is as a character. And it feels so underplayed in this movie that I just kept giggling like, oh, and there's his 2 friends just also hanging out with him. Like I don't know. Like it felt like in a movie that was made today, they would have made a lot more a big deal about his like status and like what he did, maybe even and like all that. Cause they like, cause you said when he's like trying to see his daughter, like his 2, I don't know, whatever brother-in-laws, like them just like pummeling through the police.
Yeah.
Like, that whole scene's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like it's like kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
And again, it's a little mismatched. Maybe that's just because again, that movie I think that would be treated much differently today versus the early 2000s. But but it is a good movie.
Solid movie.
Anyone who likes mysteries and like kind of like cop dramas or anything like that, I think you'd really enjoy this movie if you haven't somehow seen it already. Third movie, Lost in Translation. Okay. A lonely aging movie star named Bob Harris and a conflicted newlywed, Charlotte, meet in Tokyo. Bob is there to film a Japanese whiskey commercial. Charlotte is accompanying her celebrity photographer husband. Strangers in a foreign land, the two find escape, distraction, and understanding amidst the bright Tokyo lights after a chance meeting in the quiet lull of the hotel bar. They form a bond that is as unlikely as it is heartfelt and meaningful. This has a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
So, I mean, it is a good movie. It's a really good movie. There was one description on the DVD case that said like,
Laugh out loud hilarious or
yeah,
something.
my sides hurt from laughing the entire time. It is not funny.
Not a single thing about it's funny.
There are funny moments slash like
There's like a huff out your nose funny moment.
yeah, like there are a few like or like the circumstances that they find themselves in
Sure.
is kind of like
Yeah.
a little quirky.
Yeah.
You know?
Silly.
But the movie
Nothing
is
about
not
nothing about it is funny.
no.
And I don't think it's trying to be.
I don't really think so either.
So that's a really weird comment to
Yeah.
put on the
But
cover.
it's like really solid and like I don't know, it's one of those things where you kind of walk away from it and you're like, well, not much happened, but like it's
Yeah.
just this it really says something about the human experience, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Here's my issue with this. Personal, completely personal. I would so much rather read this than watch this.
Yeah. You did say that.
Because I get it. Like, I completely understand what they're doing, what they're going for, and I get it, and it was good. But there's something like when you're reading, it's just, you're probably getting some like you're getting some internal thoughts. You're getting like a little bit more of like reaction, whether it's being shown physically or not. You're just receiving that when you're reading it. And that's, again, it's not like I needed action. It's just like, I can only watch two characters doing nothing for so long versus, again, reading. You're like, they're thinking, they're processing information. I don't know. It just feels like you'd be thinking more because like they're thinking more. But yeah, that's completely personal, obviously. I did like it. I just I'd rather have read this in a book than have watched this in a movie.
Sure.
Personally. Also, I was just like low-key stressed the whole time because I was like, is he going to make some weird fucking move at her? And this is just going to like make the whole movie feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Didn't that just was too much on a line for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It almost would have been better if they would have just like hooked up.
Yeah. The tension was like, this is going to make me really uncomfortable or.
Because Bill Murray's character's married.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, they both are married.
and Scarlett Johansson's is like freshly married.
Yeah.
And is in Japan with her husband. Bill Murray's there by himself.
Yeah.
But she's there. But she might as well be by herself.
Right. Because he's all over the place.
Like, again, it's kind of like this, like... I think the thing is that, like, if... And this is more of a comment on... just societal norms. If it was two female characters or two male characters, this is the greatest buddy movie of all time because these two Americans find themselves in this foreign land. They really don't like know what the hell they're doing there, and so they like kind of lean on each other and make the most out of the time that they're there, which is exactly what they do.
Yeah, but there's just a little too much tension,
right? But because it's a man and a woman,
yeah.
And Scarlett Johansson's hot as hell.
Right.
No, but like there's like that added tension of like, will they, won't they? Will they, won't they?
I know.
And it's just like and it's definitely like it leads you that way. There's no like hard no, they will not.
Right.
You know?
I know. I wanted I wanted an answer.
Yeah.
Because I was like, you have me like worried this whole movie. Like, what are we working towards here?
But like yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was like
all I was thinking was could be watching Drive My Car.
Could have been watching
I think they did it better. I think they were introspective better. Obviously two very different stories. But if we're talking about being introspective, I like to How to Drive My Car did it a lot more than how Lost in Translation did it. But also Drive My Car was like a 3-hour movie.
It was.
And had a lot more moving pieces.
Drive My Car and Lost in Translation was an hour and a half.
Yeah. Right. Like completely different. I'm not trying to really make them the same. But like, again, when it comes to that kind of movie where it is just slower paced and like all of this, it's like, for me, Drive My Car had a better payoff and a much more like, I don't know. I felt like they like showed you more without needing to say anything. Yeah. But again, they also double the movie length, so they had more time to show you stuff. But yeah, no, but it is good. It is good.
And Bill Murray's really good in it.
He is.
Scarlett Johansson's really good in it.
Yeah.
And they are literally 95% of the movie.
Yep.
Like, it
Just
is
them talking,
like,
hanging out.
very, very few other, like, interactions where it's not them together or, like, and there's no interactions where it's not at least one of them.
Right.
And yeah, it's, yeah, they both do a really good job.
They do. I agree. It is called a romance / indie film, according to Google.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
It's not a laugh out loud comedy.
It is not. There is nothing comedic about it. That was like the craziest thing ever to read that on the cover of the DVD. I was like, did they watch this movie?
This person saw Bill Murray was in a movie and they were like, oh, it must be funny.
Probably.
Oh, I loved him in Ghostbusters.
Oh my God. All right. Movie number 4 was Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World. In 1805, aboard the HMS Surprise, the brash Captain Jack Aubrey and his trusted friend, the ship's scholarly surgeon, Stephen Maturin, are ordered to hunt down and capture a powerful French vessel off the South American coast. Though Napoleon is winning the war and the men and their crew face an onslaught of obstacles, including their own internal battles, Lucky Jack is determined that nothing will stop the Surprise from completing its mission. What'd you think? This one was long. It was 220.
Yeah.
Pretty long movie.
This was a solid movie.
It was a solid movie.
It was very solid.
It's been a while since I've watched an old like naval film.
And I
like a while.
I really didn't know. I had no expectations really going into it.
Me neither.
If anything, my expectations were probably pretty low, just I had never heard of it.
Same.
So my expectations were pretty low outside of Russell Crowe being in it.
Right.
And yeah, it's like it's solid. Top to bottom, I feel like there are certain moments because of like the ship that they're like attempting to go after where it's just like some of the decisions that are made.
Oh,
are very,
100%.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
But and like not satisfying.
Yeah.
But I would say that there are a lot of moments in the movie that are extremely satisfying and like have like really good payoffs and stuff like that. And yeah, what'd you think?
I was very surprised by it. It literally starts you out like in the middle of them, like they're already out in the middle of the ocean. You kind of have no idea why they're. I mean, they tell you, but you kind of have no idea why they're there. You have no concept of anyone on this crew, which I will say, these are based off books.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the book series was huge in the UK, so like it might just be a very American reaction that like I have no idea who any of these people are. Like it was working off like a lot of lore for some people. So that's knowing like nothing about the series as a whole.
Yeah.
But if you know nothing, you are just plopped into the middle of the ocean with a crew you don't know. And you just know they're like really hunting for this other ship. And it's like looming over the captain's head of like trying to find this freaking ship. And that's kind of it.
Yeah.
That's like that's the whole thing.
And the first 5 minutes are them in thick fog.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden they're getting shot at. Yeah. Like
you're in it.
It does not
like immediately.
waste any time.
No, it doesn't.
There's no we're preparing for our journey. We're on land.
No.
Do we have all the materials we need?
You're all but plopped into battle.
Let's set sail.
Yeah.
And then 30 minutes later they have their first interaction with said ship. It's like, no. They're just kind of sitting and it's like, oh, we think we saw a ship. Yeah. And then boom, we're getting shot at.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, here we go.
And that kind of sets the tone for the whole movie where it's just it's a bit of like, okay, we can breathe for a second. Oh no, there's the ship. There's the ship. Go get it. Kind of when you explain it, feels like nothing. Yeah. But I did really enjoy it. I enjoyed the surgeon and the captain. Like they're the two main characters of the whole book series. Mm-hmm. So the whole book series is their relationship and them like kind of like fighting for each other, fighting with each other, like that whole thing. And it's that's so good. I really liked their back and forth.
Their entire dynamic and their entire relationship was so good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yep.
I like didn't quite, again, having not known the books, I didn't understand in the beginning they were friends. I was like, does this surgeon even know the captain? Like at first go, I was like, do they even know each other? Like it kind of felt.
Do you even go here?
Like it kind of, like it felt like the surgeon was like the butt of all the jokes. Like it felt like he was the outcast. It felt like he was this. And then all of a sudden, like they're playing classical music together and being like, what's the vibe tonight? Like, you know, like jazz or like, it just was like, that was weird to me in the very beginning. But otherwise, I like loved their relationship.
My favorite moment in the entire movie is when Paul Bettany is playing the upright bass. No, I guess it's not a bass.
I don't know what it is. Cello?
Is a cello like a big?
Yeah, it's like a big
and he like picks it up and then just starts strumming it.
Oh my god, when they both started doing that and they would like off and on, that was pretty fun. Yeah, I did enjoy that. So yeah, as a whole, like again, not really again much happens. It's very much about their relationship, kind of like each of them stepping up when the other one's sort of falling apart, and holding the ship together. Really, like it's good. Like I don't know, I feel like, but it's not like crazy action packed. Like it is much more about their relationship than about like truly like, you know, a battle or anything like that. But it's pretty satisfying if you enjoy any type of like war movie. I would say there's pretty good payoff in the end, regardless.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was just very surprised because, like you said, I knew nothing about this movie, and literally, I mean, we didn't even know the other actor was the guy who plays Vision.
Well, no, hang on.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't know Paul Bettany was in it. I did know.
Sorry, we didn't. Like all we knew was
Vision.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah, I only knew Russell Crowe was in it.
We didn't know anything else. That's why I was trying to go with that.
And we started watching it, and then I like really focused in because obviously he doesn't look like Vision.
Right.
And I was like, is that Paul Bettany? And
no,
then
but
I was like, that's definitely Paul Bettany.
Imagine if like he just would have looked like Vision? I think he would have been painted and
I
everything.
simply cannot imagine that, Shelby.
That would have been really funny.
No, it would not have. It would not have fit the time.
It would have really broken everything.
Why is there a Marvel character? What, is he going to start talking about the ship of Theseus?
Oh my god. He's on the ship of Theseus.
All right, last movie that we watched.
Do I even have to look up a synopsis for this movie? Sounds weird. How do they sum up this movie? Let's find out. The culmination of nearly 10 years' work and the conclusion to Peter Jackson's epic trilogy based on the timeless J.R.R. Tolkien's classic Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, presents the final confrontation between the forces of good and evil, fighting for control of the future of Middle-earth. Hobbits Frodo and Sam reach Mordor in their quest to destroy the One Ring, while Aragorn leads the forces of good against Sauron's evil army at the stone city of Minas Tirith. Any questions?
Nope. Pretty good movie.
Okay. As unbiased as possible.
I think it's impossible.
No, I know it is literally impossible. I do not believe The Lord of the Rings is for everyone because I don't think anything is for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've never even tried,
yeah,
maybe think about it because it is so good. It is so enjoyable for so many reasons. Like the cast, so fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Like their relationships with each other, so fucking good. Obviously, the battles, 10 out of 10. Like the second and third movie each have very, very satisfying battles. The third one has like 3 fucking battles in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It's so good. It's so good. And I do feel like it is a movie that you can appreciate the more you watch it because there are so many like little things. I mean, there's just like so many characters and a giant world. So it's a lot. Just focusing on The Return of the King. 10 out of 10 experience. I fucking love this movie.
The only thing that is so difficult about this is...
How do you not take the first 2 into consideration?
100%. Like, to some degree, you have to, right?
Yeah.
But also, it's like, okay... in a vacuum, is a movie where 2/3 of the story has already been told.
Could you get away?
Is it better than a movie that tells a full story from top to bottom? And the answer can still be yes, right? But
Right,
it's
right.
so what is the cutoff? Like you have to think about it where you don't
Okay,
know
you
any of
think
that.
about it where you don't know anything. You get plopped into it. You immediately in this movie, you sort of see a background on Gollum. You don't understand why Sam and Frodo are where they are. They're just
Right.
there. um you see all this destruction because they're recovering from movie 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a
A
sudden
fucking tree starts talking.
a fucking tree starts talking. And then you kind of get catapulted immediately into
and they
dealing
go
with
and they
Gondor.
talk about Saruman, and you
Yeah.
might get confused and think they
Yeah.
said Sauron.
You're
And so
right.
you're like, oh, the movie's done.
Right. Because I don't even think you see Saruman in the beginning of the third movie.
You don't see Saruman at all in the third movie.
Right. So yeah, so they're talking about someone that you don't know. And they're like, okay, but keep him there. And you're like, oh, surely he'll come up again.
That's the only thing that like
And he does.
that's the only thing that like holds me back
That's
a
so
little
fair.
bit.
Yeah.
In terms of like how do you
That's fair.
now granted, Return of the King did win Best Picture.
Right.
And I do think that the movie is like from top to bottom so good.
Yeah.
But it's like, but is it only so good
Because the first 2 are there.
because the first two? And
I
like
mean-
that's that I think from a story standpoint,
yeah.
yes.
Right. Like you couldn't have it without the first 2.
But take into everything else, the performances,
10 out of 10.
the writing and the which I know like technically a book does a lot of the heavy lifting, but like the writing,
10 out of 10.
the directing,
Dude, the
way they,
music, 10 out of 10. Oh, 12 out of 10.
right, and like the flow in which like I don't
Yeah.
envy anybody who has to take a book and turn it into a movie, right? Because I only imagine how difficult that is to figure out what it is that you should be cutting out and how you should maybe tweak some things creatively to make it flow better or work better on the big screen and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So anyway, does it do all that stuff well? And like, yes, it absolutely does.
Right.
But it's such an interesting. This is the first time we've had.
Toy Story 3.
Oh, that's true.
It didn't win, but
But Toy Story 3 also does stand on its own.
it does. You
a
don't have
lot
to have
better
no.
than
Yeah.
Return of the King
Correct.
does.
Correct. You are
Um,
quite literally picking up 2/3 of the way into the story with Return of the King.
Yeah.
Like especially movie 2 to 3, you are literally like picking up from the moment movie 2 ended.
Yeah, Toy
Movie
Story.
2 you could possibly have watched without, like, you'd be confused,
Yeah.
but you're not like being thrown into the middle of a bunch of stuff for the start of 2 Towers.
Right.
But I also think, and I know it's not fair, like it's not fair to judge this because like Return of the King won,
Uh-huh.
but also like it had the popularity, like, you know what I mean, like
Yeah, no,
who the
100%.
hell was sitting down to watch this without having watched the first 2?
100%.
But I know that's not fair on a judging aspect,
Right.
but like you can't
Also,
remove
that said,
that.
it's like, how did Fellowship and Two Towers also not win? I have to
Literally.
go back and look at like what won those years, but it's like
I maybe understand Fellowship because of people kind of like what's going on here, but also I
no,
don't.
because okay, so full transparency, as we do for any sequels, because we did it for Toy Story,
Yeah.
and we will do it for. I'm trying to think, The Godfather Part 3,
that sounds right, something
which is
like
like
that.
I forgot how many years after The Godfather 1 and 2, which predate the range of movies that we're technically
Yeah.
watching. But like we'll watch the first 2 there to like, because you kind of have to,
I feel
right?
like, yeah.
it only makes sense. But
I mean, it's
anyway,
as they're intended
so
to
we
be
watched
watched.
Fellowship and we watched Two Towers.
Yeah.
In order to then watch Return of the King.
Yeah.
And watching Fellowship, I was like, this actually is like a near perfect movie. It has it ends, while yes, a cliffhanger, it has a perfect ending.
Mm-hmm.
And top to bottom, there's just perfect, like it's just the sequence after sequence is just perfect.
Yes.
Like it's done so well.
Yes.
And I find it hard to believe that like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I
Two-
don't know
like-
what else was against that.
Like Two Towers, I could maybe see. Two Towers, in my opinion, is the weakest of the 3.
That's fair.
I think 1 and 3 are both near perfect.
Yeah.
I think Two Towers is like a solid 9 out of 10.
Right.
like,
right.
Like
Yeah.
near perfect as in like 9.75
Right.
for Fellowship and like a 9.9 for Return of the King or something.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all phenomenal, and again, we're super biased, but
So biased. Yeah, it was so fun. For me, these have become background movies.
mhm.
So actually sitting and watching them and paying attention, I was like, oh, these movies are so good.
I will say, I don't know what it was this time, but I was like much more locked in on like the actual visuals,
Yeah.
and some of the effects do not hold up.
I know.
For a movie trilogy that I think in a lot of ways does hold up really
Yeah.
well, there are a lot of moments that if you are being hypercritical and like hyper aware, do not hold up.
To be fair, though, we have seen them multiple times.
Yes.
We have listened to the cast commentary, which
Yes.
also picks out some of those things.
Yes.
And like, I totally agree with you because
Yeah.
I've started to pick them up more and more because I'm like, yeah, I'm now hyper aware of everything in this movie. But also, I think about it and I'm like, okay, but there are movies that did it 10,000 times worse. And there were still so many like experimental things done in this movie that hold up again way better
Mhm.
than other shit from this
Also,
time.
yeah, I was going to say, this is the time period of like
Yeah.
bad CGI.
And even this again has much better CGI than like a
Yes.
lot of shit.
Yeah.
a
Or it's
lot.
used much more practically.
Yes,
or
yeah,
like
yeah.
or like yeah.
Yeah.
When they are choosing to use it, it's at a better time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I agree with you. It's becoming more obvious. But again, I think that's kind of a big testament. That's more a testament, I'd assume, to how many times we've seen it and how well we know them versus, again, I think it's almost going to help them that when you're watching them, so much information's being thrown at you that if it's your first time taking it in, the odds of you catching those little things probably aren't that high.
Right. 100%.
So I think it really does take someone who's like seen them a bunch and, has probably heard a lot of the shit online and a lot of the lore and a lot of the background to really, really, really see those things.
Yeah.
But you are right. I do see them more and more. Sometimes they make me laugh now. But 10 out of 10. Again, I will never say it's for everyone because nothing's for everyone. But if you even think you might be interested, I feel like give it a shot.
It's just like a top to bottom.
Fun. It's just fun.
Story and everything
Yeah.
too.
And it's so beautiful.
But I can understand like not loving like a fantasy setting and then you're out.
Yeah.
All right, shall we get into our rankings?
Oh yeah, shit. I forgot that's what we do here. Let's do it. Are we going from 1 to 5?
No, we're gonna go 5 to 1.
Least favorite to favorite.
Correct.
I said that opposite.
That's
Sorry.
what we always do.
Yeah.
So then are you positive that our 1 is not the same or what?
I think so, but I'm about to find out.
If you do some fuck ass shit here, I'm gonna be so mad.
Don't be mad at me.
All right,
My
number
least
5.
favorite movie.
I'll let you go first.
Lost in Translation.
Okay, for me it was very close. I need to already just say that.
Yeah, but you're yelling at me.
For me, it was Seabiscuit was my number 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna hate me.
What was your 4?
My 4 is Mystic River.
My 4 was Lost in Translation. So they were close. Like Lost in Translation could have been my 5. Lost in Translation was kind of the only art film.
It was, yeah.
And even then, like,
yeah.
So it was kind of surprising that there was no art film, you know?
Yeah.
Like no like
and it's
clear
not like
cut.
Lost in Translation really pushed the
Right, like,
envelope.
I don't watch Lost in Translation and go, this is Oscar bait. Like there's no movie like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, you said 4 for you is Mr. River. Okay, 3 for me was Master and Commander.
Mine is Seabiscuit.
Okay.
Which means
your 2?
My 2 is Master and Commander.
My 2 is Mystic River.
Okay.
And my 1 and your 1 is
Return of the King.
Return of the King.
Will forever be my number 1.
Forever. Interesting.
Yeah. See, as soon as you said Mr. River's a near perfect movie, I was like, oh no. I put that pretty low.
That's okay.
Well, you said I'm gonna pull some fucked up shit.
I I meant like you're gonna pick Belfast as your fucking favorite and not remember that it was black and white the entire time. So I thought you were gonna say Seabiscuit was your favorite and Return of the King was like second or third, and I would have strangled myself.
No. I will say I rated Master and Commander and Seabiscuit the same, but as a whole, I'm aware that Seabiscuit just made me feel good, and I
Yeah, so I would agree that like Seabiscuit might be the outside of Return of the King.
right.
Seabiscuit might be the most fun.
It's the most recommendable movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great way of putting it.
Because Master and Commander, I think I could only recommend to my parents.
Yeah.
Like, and they've probably already watched it.
I would say the most.
Seabiscuit, I think I could tell anyone to watch.
You could tell anybody to watch Seabiscuit and they would probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
I would say then probably Mystic River.
Yeah, you're right.
As like a gripping, then probably Master and Commander.
Yeah.
Lost in Translation would probably be the bottom.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I think too many people would watch Lost in Translation and be like,
yeah, kind of.
I think I stopped watching TikTok for this.
Yeah, if you're in TikTok brain, don't watch Lost in Translation. Honestly, borderline, don't watch Master and Commander.
Yeah, don't watch Return of the King.
Yeah, don't watch any of these movies.
Okay, so as we said, so now I'm gonna get into the
extras.
winners. Yeah. So obviously Best Picture, right? For Best Directing, basically it's Peter Jackson for Return of the King.
Yep.
Sofia Coppola for Lost in Translation, Peter Weir for Master and Commander, and Clint Eastwood for Mystic River. The only difference is it's Fernando Meirelles for City of God instead of Seabiscuit getting nominated there.
Sure.
Best Actor in a Leading Role. Let's see. We've got
the entire cast of Lord of the Rings.
No. Nobody from Lord of the Rings is nominated for Best Actor.
Okay.
So winner of Best Actor is Sean Penn for Mystic River.
Okay.
Other nominees were Johnny Depp for Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. I can't believe that movie came out in 2003. That's crazy.
Funny.
Ben Kingsley for House of Sand and Fog. Jude Law for Cold Mountain. So 3 movies that we did not watch. And then lastly, Bill Murray for Lost in Translation. Lost in Translation. Oh my God, I can't say that.
Yeah.
Sean Penn, I thought Sean Penn in Mystic River was better than Bill Murray in Lost in Translation.
Sure, yeah. Yeah. That is crazy, but I wonder, I always feel like with big cast movies, like how do you pick one actor or 2 actors, you know? I'm not saying you couldn't have. Looking at you, Oscars, but I do think that's hard when it's a huge cast.
Yeah. Well, get ready for Best Actress because we didn't watch any of these movies.
That's every year.
Charlize Theron in Monster.
Okay.
Keisha Castle Hughes in Whale Rider. Diane Keaton in Something's Gotta Give. Samantha Morton in America.
Mm-hmm.
And Naomi Watts in 21 Grams.
You know what?
We don't watch any of those.
You know what? In 100 years when we finish this challenge.
Yeah.
We're going to watch go back
and watch the best supporting or best lead
actress movies.
Yeah.
And be disappointed that are they actually a big role
also,
for them.
very curious that again, so one of the other movies that was nominated for Best Directing, the only one that wasn't nominated for Best Picture, City of God.
Sorry.
Not represented in Best Actor or Best Actress, right?
I
don't know anything about that movie.
It,
so it could be a documentary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you look at like Best Actor, right?
Yeah.
And so movies that we didn't watch, but like you had Pirates of the Caribbean,
yeah.
You had House of Sand and Fog, and you had Cold Mountain, which are not represented in Best Actress as well. Which like I kind of get that like if there's just like one main person, like then yeah, like it wouldn't necessarily work. Like is Keira Knightley a supporting actress
probably
in Pirates of the Caribbean? Yeah,
probably.
Right?
Yeah, like there's not a yeah.
Sorry, I'm just real quick.
Okay.
I'm looking at.
Yeah,
I'm realizing I'm kind of surprised 21 Grams wasn't nominated for more stuff, which Sean Penn was also in that.
Oh.
And so anyway, so best actor in a supporting role.
Mm-hmm.
You had Tim Robbins in Mystic River as Dave Boyle.
Mm-hmm.
Won.
Mm-hmm.
Alec Baldwin in The Cooler. Didn't watch. Benicio del Toro in 21 Grams.
Okay.
Jaimin Unsu. Jaimin Unsu, I think is how you pronounce it. Sorry.
You're good.
In America.
Okay.
And Ken Watanabe in The Last Samurai. Wow, The Last Samurai was in
The
03.
Last Samurai, and Tom Cruise was nominated for that performance?
No.
Does Tom Cruise live or die in The Last Samurai? That's funny.
So again, we only watched one of these.
Yeah. What a
Tim
crazy
Robbins.
year.
And then lastly, best actress in a supporting role, you had Renee Zellweger in Cold Mountain.
Okay.
Won. Shora Agdashlu in House of Sand and Fog. Patricia Clarkson in Pieces of April. Marcia Gay Harden in Mystic River. She was Tim Robbins' wife.
Yeah.
And then Holly Hunter in 13.
I haven't heard of any of them.
What a weird year. But like for the movies that were nominated for Best
that's
Picture,
very inconsistent. Like,
they were all solid. They were all solid movies.
Yeah. It's very interesting
there was no representation down ballot.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah, that's the sentence I was trying to think of.
But yeah, for me personally, that's kind of my takeaway. Like, Return of the King is so clear cut, like better than these. They kind of don't stand a chance. Like, there is some inherent bias in there, but
1000%, but still fact.
But yeah,
good year though. I was pleasantly surprised for having heard of very few of these movies. I always get nervous when I haven't heard of like any of these movies. I'm like, oh great, what are we in for? Another Tender Mercies, and then
nice, got 'em.
But no, it was a good year. It was a solid year. All enjoyable.
Yeah.
It is just fun to think of it in the context of like, who can we recommend these to? Which doesn't make it good or bad. It's just like general public reaction.
Better mass appeal.
Yeah, which again doesn't make something good or bad.
No,
but
100%.
I'm ready. Hit me with the next year.
The next year that we are going to watch is...
Please be 5 movies. Please be 5 movies.
You already know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to play it up.
I got you.
Oh my God, don't out me.
1975.
It's the first year we're allowed to watch.
Why'd you say it like that?
I messed up.
The movies are the winner, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Can't wait.
Barry Lyndon.
Never heard of.
Dog Day Afternoon.
Who's that?
Jaws.
Uh-oh.
And Nashville.
Never heard of him. I literally only know Jaws and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
I'm excited.
I heard something very fascinating right before we hit record. Spencer's never watched Jaws.
I've never seen Jaws.
That's crazy to me that you have never watched Jaws. The movie that is on every summer for a whole fucking week, and FX would play that shit constantly. This is crazy. This doesn't happen to me very often.
Do you want to hear something else?
Yeah.
Never seen The Godfather.
Me neither.
A lot of people say that's the best movie ever. Never seen it.
I've never seen it.
No,
Have they watched Return of the King?
You know what else?
What?
Guess what else? Guess what else I haven't seen?
What else have you seen?
I've never seen fucking Shawshank.
That's not true.
That's right. I've lied my entire life.
You've lied about your favorite movie?
I've just said it's my favorite.
That's crazy.
I've never seen a minute. Yeah, the only things I know about that movie are from a Family Guy episode.
Anyway, 1975, good band, will be the next year that we watch.
Is that a good band?
I don't know. People like them, I think. That'll be the next year that we watch. Only 5 movies. Lucky all of us.
2003 was also only 5.
Yeah, I'm just saying the streak's continuing. Come on, can I be excited? So we will have that episode at the end of June, I think. So quite a few weeks to watch those movies. If you had any thoughts about any of these that we watched, and if you want to try and convince us Return of the King isn't one of the best movies ever, fucking good luck. I don't know. Our socials are in the description of the episode. You can find SM Soup Podcast on all streaming services, including YouTube at SM Soup Podcast. And until next week, stay brothy.
Stay brothy.